Dr. Wood, author of the book Miracles in Minutes, and tonight's video is silencing the toughest critic. And that critic's you. Yourself. You know, there's a meme going on Facebook and said, don't worry about if others like you or think badly of themselves. They're having a hard enough time trying to like themselves. Why is it we don't like ourselves? What's so wrong about us? Well, I think it starts with a narrative that we're supposed to be perfect. Perfect people. And that doesn't exist. That's called a God complex. So what happens is we can't forgive ourselves when we make mistakes. And there's an inner critic, a voice within our own head, that likes to keep score. That's called a record. So it holds grudges. There's a scorecard. If you find that you hold a grudge on other people, what that mirror of life shows you is you're holding a grudge on yourself. If you can't let anything go or forgive others, guess who you really can't forgive? Yourself. Because the inner critic goes, look what you did. Let me show you what you did wrong. Let me point out the evidence. Look how many times you did that. You deserve to be punished. So what happens is it creates a war within ourselves. You know, if you want a best friend, the best friend you ever have is you. Have you learned how to make peace with yourself? You know, do you have a scorecard on yourself? Are you holding yourself wrong? Can you not let anything go that mistakes you've made in the past? Do you still live in the past and keep thinking about regretting some of the things that you said or did? At some point in time, you're going to need to let it go and forgive it. You need to stop. If you want to stop the war in the world, if you want more love in the world, then it starts with loving yourself. And to do that, you got to forgive. You need to realize that you're a human being. That means fallible, going to make mistakes. I wasn't given a book on how to live a perfect life. For some reason, there wasn't a perfect program in here in my brain to make perfect decisions every time. It's not like I was designed to be perfect and I'm screwing up. I wasn't even taught how to be perfect and I'm screwing up. What am I going to do? Judge myself because I didn't get it right? See, life's all about learning, okay? And you learn in the mistake. But if you can't make a mistake, then you can't learn. And if you deny the mistake and can't accept the mistake, then you can't learn either. And if you judge yourself for mistakes, then you just stop trying. Guess what happens to your life? It's over. It's done. You'll never try anything anymore because every time you try something and mess up, you blame yourself, hold the record, scorecard of what you did wrong, and then you just can't let it go. You bring it up all the time. Oh, I'm so stupid. I can't believe I did it. Oh my God. Like, how long are you going to keep it up? What you need to do is become your own best friend and recognize one day, you know what, buddy? I want to tell you I'm sorry to myself that, you know what? I was holding you to a standard that's unrealistic. I was holding you to a standard of perfection. You're just a human being, almost like a small child. See, we're God's children. He didn't say we're God's adults. He said children. That means we're going to make mistakes. But he does expect us to grow up, expects us to learn. So what can you do? Recognize the real foul. I was being mean to myself. I didn't forgive myself, and I've been judging you harshly, self. I want to tell you I'm sorry. And then maybe another little small kid in you maybe say, you know what? That's okay. I love you anyway. Thank you for telling me that. Can we just be friends? Can I be friends together? Can we tell jokes in here together? Can we laugh and have a good time? Can we forgive ourselves? See, when you make best friends with yourself, you can entertain yourself. You're happy with yourself. I think Audrey Hepburn said this, the prettiest girls are happy girls. And I think so are the prettiest boys. See, when you're happy with yourself and love yourself and can forgive yourself and let yourself off the hook for being a human being, you can stop the war within yourself and feel comfortable in your own skin for the first time. That allows you to be in relationships with others. And you know what you bring to them? You bring your comfort with them. Now, if you can forgive yourself, you can forgive others. If you can make yourself happy, you can share your happiness with others. See, you're no longer dependent upon someone else outside you to make you feel good about yourself. That's real personal power right there. Becoming your own best friend. Okay? Then the next thing we need to cover is this. Value. There's 4 big lies. It's in Man's Search for Significance is the name of the book. You can YouTube it. And the 4 big lies are, I am valuable by what other people say of me, their opinion. So I have to wait for someone to acknowledge me to tell me I'm a good person. Really? How do they know? Only I know me. And a good person's not by, the second one, by what you do, what you have, or your performance. So if you're broke, does that mean you're a bad person? If someone who's in India, they're really poor, dirt poor, are they a bad person? Do they have no value? Do they have no worth? If you're not the CEO of a company, are you not valuable? If you're not a superstar of something, does that mean you're not valuable? See how social statuses work? It doesn't really work. It doesn't mean anything about the value of you. You're told it does. See, where's the value at? Outside of self. If I had a title, if I have my bank account, here's my watch, look at my car, look, I'm somebody. Because what? You have something? What if I took it all away? Does that mean you're nobody? See how that value proposition can quickly crush you as a person? You're not valuable for those things. You're not valued by your performance. That has nothing to do with it. You know, when a baby's first born, you don't go, what kind of job do you have? Maybe I should value you, maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I'll love you, maybe I won't. Who are you? The baby can't even answer. Well, you're not going to love them? Why? All of a sudden, 1 minute, you got all this love, and all of a sudden you get a little older. You know, if you didn't do this right, you didn't do that right, you're not perfect, and no one tells you you're lovable today. Like, what, you're not valuable? Are you serious? Who told you that? You might want to question some of the beliefs you have about yourself. And then, guess what? You're going to have to make friends with yourself again. Well, I thought I should treat you kindly if you had a good job or you did well today. Maybe I could treat you kindly just because you're here and you're alive. And I live with you every day. I live with myself. So I'm what I do and what I have, or how well I perform or don't perform. So you have a bad day, we're going to beat yourself up? Or are you going to forgive yourself? Say, you know what? I think you're a pretty good person. I like you anyway. What reason? Just love you anyway. Unconditionally. Why you forgive me? Just do. Because I love you. Would you hold your kid in condemnation the rest of your life who's 3 years old for making a mistake? What about 5? What about 15? What about 20? When do we stop forgiving? What reason? See, we're not supposed to have reasons for that. You're supposed to forgive. I love my kids unconditionally. They make mistakes. I forgive them for the mistake. I'll hold them accountable for the mistake. The next thing is blame. We blame ourselves. We blame ourselves. There's that scorecard again. And shame and guilt. I can't believe. And you start hating yourself. See all this bullshit goes on? If your value's outside yourself, if your value's by what you do, what you have, how well you're performing, how many other people like you, how many likes you got on Facebook, how many people follow you on Instagram, that's all irrelevant. See, you lose power with that. If you just go right to yourself and say, you know what, I love me, and I care about me, and I value myself because I'm here and I'm alive, and I got to have this experience today. This is the greatest gift in the world, and I can do with it anything I want. And I'll always live with myself my whole life. How do I want to be in here? Want to be at war with myself, or I'll make friends? I think I'm going to make friends. That's Dr. Wood, how to create your own best friend by being friendly to yourself. And I think if we look at most of the problems in the world are actually projections of the inner war within ourselves. When we blame other people, when we guilt them, when we shame them, when we accuse them, we point the finger at them, we're actually just living out what's actually going on in our own head. If you become aware of that, you can take responsibility for it and say, you know what? I'm going to stop the war within myself, make peace within myself, start loving myself unconditionally, and forgive myself. I'm going to do the best I can with what I know today and be patient with myself just like I would a little child. Dr. Wood, have a great evening.